what's going on to YouTube, SoundCloud? It's going to be Donnie coming to you from Masao, Japan. It's about 11 o'clock at night, so I apologize if I'm a little bit off out there, guys. Today I got my guy, Jonathan Hurst in. Jonathan was the, as you guys know, I'm kind of, I got, had a lot love on last time. I'm going to get Brewski on, and I got Hurst right here. So, of course, these guys, again, were 1, 2, and 3 finishers for the Pro 2 Formula Drift Series. COVID was what it was, but you guys pushed through and everything. So before we get into Hurst's promotion, the story and everything, I just want to go ahead and just let you guys know we still got the shirts and everything going out. Everything is going out. All the stuff that you guys ordered is being shipped out. Of course, there's delays because the USPS are making guys do click and ship now, so we can't physically write the stuff out anymore to kind of prevent the spread of the virus and everything. So the stuff is going out a little bit slow, but it's definitely coming, guys. Just bear with me on that stuff. Nothing I could do on it. Just get it out there. Again, thanks for the orders. Also, just for the guys out there, this is heavy bitch right here. So you guys know I've been pretty much pushing EDL clutches for the last probably the last 6 months or so. And I got a few here in the display models. And actually, I got one on my RB25 that started up today. So I'll be pushing those around. Daigo Saito and a few other guys have already used these clutches. So I'm pretty much running these here. And it's a good company. I try to get with Ogor or seeing all the guys in Japan, and they don't want to work with a Gaijin. So I just found their source and found other ways to get it done. So very sturdy clutches, very heavy. This particular one right here is a triple plate for a 2JZ, 1JZ. So they're really durable units, pretty solidly priced. So it's getting me for the clutches and everything. So again, moving to my guy here, Jonathan. Again, thank you for being part of the podcast, man. Before we get into it, definitely just go ahead and put out your social media out, your Instagram, Facebook, and then plug your sponsors and whatever you gotta do with that stuff, man.
Yeah, for sure. So on Instagram, you can check me out at Jonathan Cash 16 or at Jonathan Cash, and then my Facebook is Cash Racing 16. You check those out, and then I've got a little small YouTube that's just Jonathan Hurst, but that's nothing serious yet.
Cool,
trying to grow into that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and then all my sponsors, Dynasty, My Cloud Racing Engines, Haltech, Koenig Wheels, Fortunato Coolers, and Tile Wastegate. There's so many. There's a lot of people. Monster Clutches, just a lot of good people that have helped me. And AZ Rags, they wrap the car and stuff like that. But just, all those guys know that I can't thank those guys enough. I mean, for what we do, it's without those guys, this ain't happening.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a good thing, man. Definitely good to have good companies backing you and everything. And I know, again, being a drifter myself, it's definitely nice to have companies that'll, go into their pockets and help you out. And everything collectively, again, leads up to you guys, our results for this year, man. So, before we get into, the whole, this season and everything, man, what I always ask everybody this, I met for the first time, what got you into cars? What got you into drifting? And how did you begin this life, man?
So I got in the cars just from my brother. He was in the cars when I have an older brother. He was doing burning thing, and so I kind of grew up around motorsports, dirt bikes and cars and stuff like that. So, and then in high school, my friend, he was just started YouTube and stuff and got into watching videos actually from Japan, just street drifting and stuff. And then he ended up getting an RX-7, and we just started trying to learn how to drift when we were in high school in parking lots and stuff.
Yeah. And what year was this, man?
This was back in 2011. Was when I graduated high school. So about 9 years ago.
Yeah, man, it makes me feel a little old, man. I graduated 2003. But actually, I was supposed to be class of 2000, but I failed. I got held back first grade because I got chicken pox, and my mom didn't want me to go on because I just barely passed, and I failed on my own sixth grade. So I always got picked on. I was the old guy, and in school, and I was buying dudes beer in college because I was a 21-year-old freshman, man, and everything. So speaking on that, man, you just went after high school, you finished with school stuff, or
No, I went straight in and got a job, roofing. Yeah. I didn't go to college. Okay. I was going to go to college to be a mechanic, okay, but I didn't do that. Just kind of worked at a couple different places, and during the whole time I had a car, but I wasn't necessarily just drifting. I was doing a lot of drag racing or autocross, but at the same time having a car that was capable to drift.
Right. And what's your home state again? Well, where you?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah, I never been to Kentucky, man. But I imagine out there, man. It's I mean, as far as from what I hear, man, is it like a lot of straight roads out there in Kentucky, or how are the roads out
Yeah,
there normally?
I mean it's not bad. There's a lot of straight roads, and then I mean there's a lot of cool roads to go, on some curvy stuff, and out in the, we got a lot of woods and stuff.
Mm,
It's not really that flat or anything around here, but it's a decent area. It's
yeah.
nothing like we don't have any huge like freeways or anything though. Like
Okay.
if you go to Texas or somewhere, but
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, shit, man. I didn't really do a lot. I'm from Baltimore, Baltimore, Maryland, and so I mean, it was a mixture. I started in drag racing like most guys, Hondas, and everything, and it wasn't. It was. I started cars '99, and it wasn't until about 2001 is when I got the drift bug, and pretty much drag racing was a little bit too expensive to have a. Everybody was doing 10 seconds back then, which was the big thing.
yeah.
And now, I mean, the cars coming out the factory stock 10 seconds. So it's like, what are you doing now? So drag racing is it was boring to me, mundane. And then I found autocross and grip racing. Then I got into drifting, and that pretty much just took everything out, man. So another thing too, man, this is like I observe things differently than a lot of people, man. Did you play football or anything like that in high school?
I played basketball, not in high
Okay.
school though, but I still played all the sports. But
Okay.
I started out skateboarding right before high school, and then I
All
got
right.
huge into skateboarding and got some sponsors and stuff through there. And
Okay.
then thought I was going to be a professional skateboarder.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I got that license, though, that was it.
Yeah, man. Now the reason I asked, man, because I was looking at all of the drivers, man, and like the profile picture, dude, and like your fucking neck, dude, is huge. Like you look like a fucking linebacker. It looks like I was looking at the driving pictures. It looked like a dude that would be a linebacker for Mississippi State or something like that. But yeah, I just had a random question, man. So I just wanted to ask that and everything, man. But getting into like the season and stuff, man. Obviously, then I asked Love the same stuff, and I'm pretty much gonna ask Brewski the same questions, man. Like before the season kicked off and everything with the corona and all that crap going on, what was your preparation for the season, and also like how did it affect you at all, and what was your outlook on the season going into the season with corona and all that stuff?
Well, honestly, we thought about not even running because it was pushing things off. We didn't know how the season was going to work. Some sponsors weren't even trying to hold up to their end of the deals anymore because
Right.
they said the COVID hit them so hard. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then just the mindset, me and my teammate Human, it was our first year teaming up for Pro 2. And he was like, well, we might as well just do it anyway because there's going to be a bunch of people drop out. And we decided to stay in it and make it happen. But it wasn't that easy, It
Yeah.
did suck a bunch of with the companies. Like some companies would say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get some free stuff." Well, then it turned into just discounts, which is great, But at the
Right.
same time, you were already planning on some of this stuff happening.
Yeah, man. I bet I'm pretty sure everybody's the same way, man. Like far as the and logistics, man. You guys for your car getting to the event, I'm pretty sure you guys you trailer the car to every event and everything. How was the how was the timing in between? Because it looked like to me and Alexis watching, man, it just looked like it was just like it was back to back to back to back. There was very little time to get the car sorted and everything, man. How was the travel and everything?
It wasn't too bad. I kind of
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
closer. I mean, it sucks if something bad happens, but
Mm.
driving though, if you want to drive a lot, then it's good, because sometimes if there's a big gap, it just sucks coming in. Almost like you got to relearn some stuff. But
Yeah.
the
Yeah. That,
travel wasn't as bad. I mean, just some states are different than others here. Like they would have you could eat in restaurants and then some you couldn't, and so there's like all those different different things through all the states.
yeah. How's Kentucky handling the whole Corona stuff like overall? Is it
Um, our governor's got it shut down pretty good. Like we can't eat inside right now until this week coming up Monday.
shit?
So, and then if you can I live about 10 minutes from the border of Illinois, and you can go over there and eat inside though. So you can
Yeah.
drive 30 minutes and eat.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like it's like every state's kind of. I mean, every state is a little bit different, man. But it's like
Yeah.
everybody's like fleeing to Texas now because Texas is like the only one that's just like regular, regular, and everybody else is kind of like crazy. I'm in Japan, man. So it's honestly the whole mask stuff that's normal. Like everybody has to wear a mask. I mean, well, not have to, but Japanese when they get sick, they don't get what's that word? They don't get work comp time. Like they can't take off work. I mean, unless you're dying and you're in Japan, you go to work, man. So they always wear the mask always to not get sick or not spread their germs or whatever. So that was normal to us. And the yeah, just like some of the schooling with the kids and everything trying to change. But other than that, man, the biggest thing effect for me has been cancellations of jobs because guys don't want to spend the money. They don't know what's going to happen. And the overall, just like the loss of like shipping stuff out and receiving things has been like a pain in the ass, man. But that stuff is pretty cool, man. But like you're speaking on the season 2, man. Your car, like tell us like about your car, man. What's your setup and everything, and why did you choose the platform you drove with this year?
Yeah, so I drive a G37 coupe. I got a plus swapped in it. I got my engine builder is Mike Lau Racing Engines. He builds it. It's a 5.3. It's got crank rods, pistons, but the block is still factory iron block. So just like a truck engine.
Yeah.
And then some parts from BTR, cam and stuff and intake. Run a Garrett Motion GTX 4202R turbo,
nice.
Which we have a few tunes on the car. So one tune makes 700 wheel, and then we have an 800 wheel and then 900 wheel. I only ran 800 wheel this year, just with the 255 limit. I mean, you don't really need that much more. And that had my car set up pretty well to work, with the grip levels with the 800 wheel horsepower tune. So, other than that though, it's Wisefab front, OEM diff. The transmission is just a T56 Magnum, and then drive shaft shop axles. But other than that, I mean, it's nothing crazy. No Wisefab rear or nothing. Just some ISR adjustable suspension arms in the back, and that's really about it.
Yeah, man, it looked pretty solid, man. Like I said, I was telling Love, man. I of course I've been into FD since the beginning. I went to the very first event in Wall, New Jersey, back in like 2000 whatever. And that's when like it was Tanner Faust was there and all the old school dudes, man. And right after that, I left Japan. I left America in 2008 for Japan. I've been in Japan since 2008. So when I got here, man, my mind just kind of went to like doing D1 stuff and everything. And I kind of like I didn't forget about the States, but I kind of just like I was over here. So I kind of like transitioned over here, man. And I recently got interest of wanting to drive in FD and everything, and that's why I really want to talk to you guys, man. See how things are going. And after talking to Love, I was trying to come over for next year and go, but I think it'd be better for me to actually come over and just do like regular days, like first, and then get a feel for it and everything, and then like kind of get them, build some networks and things, and then go from there, man. So that's just like I want to, competition is competition, but I don't want to come over there and like waste a lot of money and just not do well, man. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. So it is what it is and that stuff, man. But with this season, again, this is like I definitely want to ask this question right away. With this season going on, how it went, you get in second place. What is your plans on staying in Pro 2, or when are you looking to go to Pro 1? Like, are you looking to hang out Pro 2 another season, or what's up with that?
Well, I really want to make the jump to Pro 1, and we kind of have our mindset that we're going to make the jump.
Right.
We're going to see, though, on budget. But on the car side, I already bought a 4-speed dog box GSR trans, and then next month I'm going to go ahead and buy a winter's quick change, and then basically the car will be set for it. The engine can make 1,100 to the tire already with just a different turbo. But I mean, really probably just run a similar setup, make about 900, 950, and have that bigger tire. And I think the car would be pretty close to being capable to hang with them. So that's the goal. And I mean, if we're going into Pro 2 anyways, the whole goal is to go to Pro 1 at some point.
Right.
And I've been in Pro 2 for about 3 years now.
Right.
And then now with getting second in Pro 2, feel like they help you. You get like a discount for entry if you make the jump. So if you get first, second, or third in the championship. So I think it'd be smart to make the jump now.
Yeah, man, definitely. So you've been. I think that's definitely my idea as well, man. That's good. Like I said, you've been there a few years and everything. You've already. The biggest thing I think for a lot of guys that's coming into the game or whatever is just that preparation, getting their car ready. Like it's just a lot of things you can't like do in the first year. Like I mean, a lot of guys that show up at the event, taking the car out, the whole ritual of getting the car set up, your tent set up, all that stuff, the driver meeting, the registration, all that crap, man. And some people in their first year, that's like I'm not sure I was. Actually, how was your first year of a FD Pro 2, man, how compared to this year, how did you feel in your preparation and everything?
The first year I definitely wasn't prepared, but at the same time, Pro 2 to me is not all about preparation. I mean, you have 4 rounds, you get plenty of time to get your car ready between each round. I mean, if you can show up with a reliable car
Right.
and to one round, I mean, even two, if you show up to the track with two rounds and your car doesn't break or you got it very reliable for 2 rounds, more than likely you can get your Pro 1 license because some guys, I mean, they went out in like top 32, and if you podium, they still got their license, if they podium 1 round.
Right.
So in my first year, I didn't even qualify 2 of the rounds, and one was because I tested my first lap was in the car was there, which was not good. I mean, definitely should have had a lot more practice time, but at the same time, I had the mindset that no matter what, I was going to go for it.
Right.
And so I didn't qualify the first round, and then the second round I qualified second and did decent through the rest of the year. But we finished top 10 the first year, and I didn't even qualify 2 rounds. So that tells you that as long as you can make half the rounds pretty good. I mean, usually you can still place decent, but that's not the mindset to have. Obviously, you want to have a car that works, all 4 rounds. But there's things that's going to happen for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And then going into like your first year, what feeder series did you drive in to get your Pro 2 license?
I ran in Midwest Drifting in 2017, and we had 4 rounds where we traveled, so it was somewhat similar to how we had most of the 2 or 3 of the rounds were like 10 hours away for me, and so it was a good like there hasn't really been any more series that has like 4 or 5 rounds, like a Pro 2 season. So they all got these shootouts now. So
yeah, man, that's definitely cool, man. Like I said, I think that's the again, I kind of going back to my conversation with Love, man. I was telling him that I had my mindset on one thing, man. I'm a very like confident person and everything too, but it was just like I think again, I've been away from the game like competitive wise for over 5 years now, and it's one of those things, man, where like you just got it. You can't. I was telling a buddy of mine, man, your experience and everything comes with competition. Like you can do a bunch of drift days, but when you get in, you rock up to the line in a competition. Same thing. You got your skills are still there, but you still weren't competing. You weren't tandeming. You weren't doing a lot of different things that you're doing in competition, man. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, man. Come over and and then wherever I land or whatever, I'll probably end up linking up with you guys or whatever, and doing some days out there just to get a feel for, especially banks. Like I've been on a bank before, but I never drifted a bank. So that's like going to a track for the first time. I can imagine like going to Irwindale and that being your first time drifting on a bank or whatever would be like a shocker, man. So how was that for you, man? How was the tracks that you guys did this year, man? What would you rank them in? Like I guess the most challenging to the easiest track. In your personal opinion, what would you rank them at?
If I had to rank them, I would say Seattle was the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Then probably go to Irwindale, and then Texas, or then maybe St. Louis. Texas and St. Louis are probably pretty close to being a little bit easier. Right. But Irwindale I really like, and I don't think the track's hard. I just think that you can't be scared of it. I think the track is pretty. It's like, to me, that track is one of the easier tracks for me to drive, but it's just like you can't be scared to go into that second inner bank.
Yeah.
But Seattle was definitely the hardest because the first wall, like the first bank, is just so you're on it so long and you're going so fast that trying to come off the bank into the infield or into the infield is just super hard. Like you got to time everything right. You got to slow down just right. And if not, you don't hit those marks right, then, I mean, you're just not going to you won't do very well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's definitely that kind of like when we talk about being scared, man, it kind of reminds me of drift, BC circuit here, where again, man, I'm a very confident person, very confident driver, man, but I do not fuck with Minami circuit. Like if all conditions are not right, that track will eat your car, man. You familiar with BC circuit, correct? Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it beats
Yeah.
you. It takes out the top drivers, man. It doesn't care who you are. If you make one mistake, or the biggest thing for a BC, what guys who begin is they don't go fast enough, and they end up gripping right into the wall. So they jump off the little jump, and then the tires hit, and they go right into the wall. It doesn't. A track eats you, man. So of all the tracks in Japan, that's the only one that most guys if you don't get adequate practice on, like, you're pretty much gonna wreck. And you have to go like Daigo. You just got to jump off of it and be in fourth gear and just go and everything, man. And speaking on that, man, because we talked a little bit offline. Like, have you ever been to Japan before? Or are you looking to come over Japan and visit?
No, I haven't been there, but I've always wanted to. I see like the Lone Star guys from Texas.
Yeah.
They take, and it looks like it's awesome to the driving experience there and the tracks.
Yeah, you definitely got to do it, man. Pretty much everybody that comes on my podcast, I extend the offer, man. If you once this crap clears up, man, and the road goes back to normal, man, and you want to come over and check it out, I got plenty of cars. I'm setting up a few cars right now, actually, for visitors coming in March and everything. So pretty much all I got to do is get a plane ticket over here, man, and I got the cars. I got the access to all the tracks. And here in Japan, man, we don't do events, man. You can drift 7 days a week, every day of the year, if you can afford it. There's drifting.
Yeah,
every
that's
day,
awesome.
Man. So it's like, I'm spoiled by it because I don't take advantage of it. And I'm like, all right, whatever, man. I go drifting on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. And I got my track is 45 minutes away, so I go there, I do a few tests. So much so that I don't even post online. I just go up there, I seriously go there. I do about 10 laps and I'll leave. I pay like $40 and everything, so I'll do a quick. And for me, selling a car, it's easy to sell a car when you got video of the car doing what you're trying to sell it for, versus just putting pictures out there and everything, man. So again, like I say, anybody out there watching or listening, man, if you want to come to Japan, I'm in Misawa, so I'm 8 hours north of Tokyo, but I mean, we could still. I got the trucks, I got trailers, we can get pretty much anywhere, so it's easy to get things done, man. So definitely, I would recommend Matsuri is what you want to come and do if you come over here, because that's pretty much It's 2 days straight of drifting. It's 24 hours, and then there's a half day. So it's a very cool environment. It's kind of dying off because they had some issues with some Australian guys, New Zealand guys kind of making trouble, and then some of the Japanese guys making trouble too, man. So, but it's starting to come back up and things like that. So, but as far as the FD stuff, again, I know Pro 1 is definitely your thing, man. Have you thought about any competitions or anything outside of the States, or are you just focusing on America right now?
Basically just focusing on here, trying to do the best I can here. But I actually have been thinking about wanting to go somewhere else and compete, but I just can imagine the amount of money it's going to take to go somewhere else and have a car there and a team that, like, if you got to take your team from here to there, or you use someone else there, I mean, it'd be a lot. Yeah,
definitely, man. The logistics is definitely crazy. I think most guys, what they'll do is they'll just do a rental, because it's the logistics timing, and then like you getting there in your car, just don't clear customs or some crap like that, which happens unless you're like an F1 team where they fly their cars and everything. But man, for me, I'm looking at doing I'm looking at drifting in the States, and also I want to go to Europe. I never drifted in Europe before, so they got a lot of stuff over there in like England and everything and all that stuff over there, man. So I just want to experience drifting all over, and it's also cool to see the different. There's different levels, obviously, everywhere. But like I was telling the guys recently, man, I'm in Japan. I've been following all types of drifting, man, and just this season alone, from looking at all the series, between the live streams, the drivers overall, and the vehicles, man, I think Formula Drift is I'd say number one. That was my personal opinion, and I live in Japan. D1 GP is kind of fell off a little bit, and people were like, it's just different, man. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think FD is doing well, man. So that's a good perk for guys that are out there who are watching. A guy from in Japan saying that FD is doing well right now. So FD Japan is definitely good.
Sure.
FD Japan. I mean, if you're gonna do over here or try it out, of course your license and everything, you'll pretty much walk right into FD Japan. They don't have Pro 1 and 2. They just got FD Japan. So you'll do that
Yeah.
stuff, man. So, but I mean, drifting aside, man. What else? I mean, what other stuff are you like involved in, or what do you do in your spare time and things like that?
I just got a dirt jumper bike, like it's like a 26-inch bike that just use to hit some jumps and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of other car guys are been getting into that, so I've been doing that a little bit, and then other than that, really just working on cars, trying to make a little bit of side money. My day job, I work for an engineering company,
Okay.
and I test concrete and steel and stuff like that. So I'm an inspector for them, and then so that's what I do during the day, and then I get off work and either working on something or going and trying to ride bikes or something like that, trying to hang out.
Okay. Is it like you say test? You just like are you like bending metal or stress tests and things like that, or?
No, so basically, most of the time I'm testing concrete,
Okay.
getting a sample of it, making sure that they're pouring it at the right spec and stuff like
Ah.
that, and then making samples and then breaking the concrete days later to make sure it meets the requirements that it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Shit, man. I probably got to talk to you, man, because I got a few. I got my garage here was a fish port, and luckily the floor was just long enough to get my anchor bolts in there. I know you see a lot of times where guys like they'll install lifts on like bad anchors or it's not deep enough and the lift falls out. So I was worried about that, and I got a new lift where I know for sure I have to I have to pay for them to put like I don't know the technical term for it, but they have to put like for my post they got to actually dig in the ground and put the cement there because it's like it's like pretty much concrete. It's like a poured concrete, and you can tell it's not. Like what you probably know better what I'm trying to say. So for the post, they're gonna cut out a square of the post and then drop the I guess the concrete in there so I can drill into it and put the post in there because I can't drill into the current shit.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah, so I mean you deal with like a lot of the stuff for like the concrete, I guess. Let's see, we got that.
Yeah. I deal with all that stuff. Basically, I check like the rebar and like the anchor bolts you're talking about for the lift and stuff like that. I verify that they're installing that per the plans.
Yeah.
Like even my own garage, my garage floor wasn't very thick, but I still went ahead and put a lift in it. And,
yeah.
The anchors were like barely the right length. So
yeah.
But I
think
okay.
Yeah, the shop I'm at right now is my second shop. My first shop, it was actual. They actually, I mean, the floor. I don't know how thick they poured it, man, but you can see it in the floor. They cut the floor out and then they put like a whole thing in. It's like level, and they put like rebar around the edges. And that, I mean, I drilled, I stuck the drill all the way down to the bottom, and it still was going. So my new shop, I did a test part and it drilled, and then I think the bit was about probably about 7 or 8 inches, and then like I got about 5 inches or so in, about 5.5, and then it just went through the ground into the dirt, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" So I put good anchors in there and everything, and also I put about 5 sub anchors, and also I fucking tethered it to the roof, so it's no problems now. But the floor, the concrete was almost not strong enough, because even when I was doing a test, when it started cracking, and I was like, "Fuck, dude." So I've been putting shit on the lift for about 2 years now, no problem. So I just check my bolts and everything, man. But I work by myself too, man, and that's one of the that's one of the things I kind of worry about is just like my safety is like what you do is safety stuff, and I do the same thing, just making sure like I don't fucking get crushed by a lift or some shit like that. So yeah, man,
for sure.
Yeah, that's not a good. I mean. Like drifting is cool, man. I almost fucking died. My first pro event, I almost died in a paint booth. It exploded. It was my fault. I put a paint can over top of the heater, and a paint can. I was painting something, man, and I turned around and the fucking paint can exploded, like popped up in the air. Luckily, I had PPE.
Dang.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And when it exploded, it sucked all the oxygen out of the fucking room. So I couldn't breathe for about 10 seconds, and I was trying to, and it was in my eye and everything, all over my face. My glasses are on, and I had a respirator right by my lips, man. So my upper lip got all burnt up, my nose got burnt up, and my eyes, like my eyebrows got all singed off, so all my hair was gone on my face. And this
Dang.
fucking careless, man, for like 2 seconds, or well, more than 2 seconds. But yeah, that was a bad day, man. And I was right back in the garage the next day. So yeah, so
Dang, yeah, that sounds like that sucked.
yeah, dude, it did, man. Yeah, it was. But it was like, it's one of those things where you pushing to get to the event and everything, and it's like you spend all this money, and I was on a crunch time because I got invited to do the event. And my car was still in the shell, and I don't have a team here, man. So I had to finish building the engine, put the engine in there. It was painting the engine bay, all the shit, man. It goes into these cars, and yeah. I got it done, and like the day before the event, I'm still putting I'm still tuning it, putting stickers and sponsors on the car, and I got top 16, got my license, man. So it was worth it, and it also helped legitimize my shop here. So it was all worth it, man. But yeah, it's probably like when you talk to people about drifting, man, do they know what you're talking about most of the time, or are they like confused about what you do, or you got to explain it to them like what you do? How does that work for you?
Well, most of them kind of have an idea
Yeah,
of what it is, but they all think it's something that we got really slick tires and
yeah,
that we're just out there kind of like just floating.
yeah,
And then so when I take like some buddies for rides that, some guys that are drag racers, I've taken them for rides and they're like, holy crap,
yeah,
this thing's got a lot of grip. And
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I mean, you don't want to hit the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that is the funniest thing right there. When guys are like, oh man, you guys got the slippery. I'm like, nah, dude, you actually like I gave the it was I didn't the car. It was an open lot where we were at, and it was a lot of space. So I gave the guy like the keys on the car. I was like, hey man, I was like, try to. He was like, oh man, I think it's easy. And I was like, dude, it looks easy, right? So I gave him. I was like, all right, just try to do a figure eight, because he actually was an autocross guy, so he had car control. And I was like, try to do a figure eight, and just pop. I was like to pop the clutch because he didn't know how to like whatever. And number one, he stalled it for the first like 5 times. He couldn't get it in gears. It was a triple plate O'Gora clutch, so he kept stalling. He's like, dude, there's no like give. I'm like, yeah, there's no. It's on or off. There's no fucking in between.
Yeah.
And so he stalled it, and then he got and then he would try to engage the tires, but it wouldn't grip. I mean, sorry, it had too much grip or whatever. And this was like only 235s, and I'm like, dude, like you gotta fucking go, dude. And he's like, and then I took him on the track, same thing, and he felt the acceleration and everything. He's like, dude, I thought these cars were just go side. Like, no, you gotta make it go sideways, man. So it's always cool when somebody that doesn't know gets in the car. They never felt that kind of grip or power before, and also the acceleration sideways is what people don't understand. Like, I mean, when I first started, of course we used junkyard tires, but once I started getting better, I realized I couldn't. I was like, why the fuck's this Japanese guy so much faster sideways than me? And it's like, he's using 245 whatever, 255, 30, big tires and everything, and whatever,
Yeah.
man. So, and for yourself, man, what tires in your career, man, what tires have you drifted on and played with and everything, and run the most?
Well, at first, like you said, I was using junkyard tires,
Right.
but then I switched. I had a buddy, Jonathan, there, and he's out of North Carolina.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
were with the company Zena, and they were trying to get into drifting and stuff, and I was getting my tires from him. So I ran Zena through Pro-Am, and even in Pro 2, I had had a small budget, so I was using some of the tires I'd already had from Pro-Am in practice in Pro 2, and then I would switch to the Achilles for Pro 2, like the official practice and qualifying and stuff. But since then, I've ran on Achilles 123s, and
Okay.
there's like no comparison to those tires to most of the other tires I've ran on. So
Yeah, man, I do like the 123s, man. I'm a dealer for Federal, but I'm not. I can use any tire I want. So 123s, I definitely did. I like the way they look, the way they feel, and everything. I tested them. I've only used 4. Like, I tested a set of 4 at the my local track, man. They bearing good. They marbleize really good. They wear all the way down to the belt, which is what I like the most, because a lot of people don't realize, like, that and I'm pretty sure a lot of your buddies too who don't know. It's like, oh man, you can just throw anything in there. I'm like, nah, dude. As soon as you heat that bitch up, you look like a fucking alligator tail whipping around, like knock all your fucking paint off and gets wrapped up in your brake calipers and everything, man. And and also not drifting. When I first started, man, I would, I think the cool thing was to drift until you blow your tires till they explode. Then you're like, ah, shit. Well, you don't want to do that going into a wall. And I almost did that too.
No.
Explode the tires going into a wall, and it's like, nah, dude. So you come up the track, change them out and everything. And it's the tire tech is crazy, man. How it's went. For me personally, I just see a lot of guys that jump and ship, for tires. They just kind of like, whoever gives them the most tires, they just kind of, and I'm not knocking it, man, because if I had that deal, maybe I would, I would, throwing up Ling Long or whatever. But it's funny because Japanese, I'm not sure if you know, man, Japanese don't really care for Chinese too much. And but now to see like one of the top teams here rocking Ling Longs, like the name Ling Long is like, it just screams Chinese, dude.
Yeah.
But they gave him like a fucking warehouse full of tires, and he's like, all right, dude, we're Ling Long. And the tires, my local guy here, he won a championship for D1, and he's only 20. He's 28 years old, and he's been pro since he's been like 17, man. So this dude's like, he's an OG, and he's only 28. So in Japan, things are different, man. There's 16, 17-year-olds who got a higher career than myself. It's just their dads they're drifters, and their dads weren't really that good, but they were good enough to give the kid skills, and the kid just, don't even have a license yet. They're just fucking weapons, dude. So speaking of, you got your wife, kids, or you single?
No, I got a girlfriend. Okay. She's pregnant though, so I'll be having a kid next year.
Congrats, man.
Thanks, man.
I got 3 and 2 on the way. I got twins on the way. So.
Oh dang.
Yeah,
dang,
dude.
Congrats, yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's good. Like, dude, my life, the kid stuff, man. I'm pretty sure, like, with that, like, how are you feeling about are you excited? I'm pretty sure. You're excited.
Yeah, definitely excited. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So trust me, dude. It's when the first one comes out, dude. It's like your life kind of changes like instantly, right at that moment, and all the bullshit out there that you thought mattered, dude. It's I just it was like, dude, it's all about the kid and everything. And I got 3 and a wife, and dude, 7 years ago I was never getting married. I was never having kids. Like now, but it's cool, dude. I work by myself again. They're pretty much gonna be my pit crew when they get old enough and everything. And they already want to come in the shop anyway, but I don't let them in here because you got oils and shit, and they're running under the lift, and like, dude, get out of there.
They'll be making a mess.
Yeah, dude. Well, more so is it's like they don't understand like sharp objects and shit, and everything's heavy. It's engines on the engine hoist and stuff like that, and I just don't want them run into that shit. And it's unforgiving, man. So you haven't boy girl yet, or you guys don't know yet?
Yeah, I'm having a boy.
All right, awesome, dude. Awesome, man. She probably not too happy, but it's cool. She's
no, she is actually.
Yeah, man. It's cool, dude. Like we haven't we don't know we haven't yet with the twins. It's crazy in Japan. They kind of twins are not normal here. My wife's Japanese, so they treat it crazy and whatever. So we don't know what it is yet. But I told her if we having boys, I'm gonna name them Ken and Ryu after Street Fighter dudes. So she thinks I'm joking, but I was like, dude, we're really gonna do it because she picked the last 3. I was like, they're gonna have my last name, so I don't care, whatever name you pick. So I was like, if these are boys, they got to be Ken and Ryu. They just for fucking shits and giggles, man. So yeah, so it's crazy, man. And like, I mean, speaking of that, man, like how like just on the gee whiz, man, how old are you, man? What's your age?
I'm 27 right now.
27. All right, cool. And Love was saying like, so most of the guys that you compete with. What's the age range in the Pro 2 right now?
To me, I think it seemed like we were all around the same age. It seemed like there might be a couple of guys that are a little younger, but there wasn't very too many people older than us in Pro 2. But it seemed like, probably I'd say around 22 to 30 is what it seemed like. But there wasn't, because Brandon Sorensen and Amanda Sorensen, they're younger, but they weren't there this year, so they were there in 2019.
I did hear about it. I wasn't, again, dude. I was cold. the last guy I remember winning the FD championship was Tanner Faust. And I pretty much, I was like, I mean, it was like in the background, and I was like, kind of when controversial shit happened, I would kind of hear about it, but I kind of was again over here focused and everything. So I heard about the, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure the internet's drama stuff out there, but I did hear those names, and I heard they were like crashing into people or something like that, or.
There was something that happened with Brandon, but yeah, there was some drama about that.
Yeah. So I was like, I just heard, hearsay, and then again, man, like I say, when I had the kids, dude, like I kind of channel all. If it ain't affecting me directly, I'm like, dude, whatever. I don't.
Yeah,
way too much.
I try to stay. Yeah, try to stay out of all the drama. Like, there's been a lot of drama lately, and I just steer clear of all of it. I don't want my name being involved in it, because, especially in FD. Like, if you like, that stuff matters. Like,
it does, man.
All like huge. So
yeah. Then I mean, also like it's again, I seen I mean a lot more again. I guess maybe because I was just watching the live feed, man, was just amazing this year. I mean, with the Corona shit going on and everything, like the live feed was like cool, because I remember back when it first started, it was really glitchy and everything. But they got a production team now, dude. Then I'm pretty sure, like, how were you guys watching the live stream while you're in the pits, or for the most part?
Yeah, it depends. Yeah. We'll watch it if we're in the pit. If I'm still in it, I don't watch it. I'll try to keep my mind focused on it, and just But if I get knocked out or something, then yeah, we try to watch it or something.
Yeah, I figured.
But like at Texas, they have like a big screen, so everyone can watch it right there at the pit. Like, I mean, it's like the largest TV in the world or something.
Yeah. And
so it's really cool to see it there. That we definitely watch it like that. Watch it there.
Yeah, because I remember, like, what reason I was actually more so for like the because like the end of the season, man, like that last one, it was like it was a toss up between who was gonna be like, because it was
we
like
watched that live.
Yeah, because I was like, if Mata didn't crash, like how it would have, because he looked like he was looking like he was gonna be in the finals for that event and everything, and he was running good and everything, and then he hit the wall. And then Love, hit the wall and everything and stuff like that. So it just kind of scrambled things a little bit, seemed like. And then I think Brewski was kind of like, he didn't know if he was going to win or not, or I don't know what. It just seemed like it was like down to the wire. It was pretty close on points, because I know if third and fourth were both 216 or something like that.
Yeah. So everyone was super close going into that, and that's what sucked when we get knocked out of 32. If I would have just made it to 16, I would have won the championship.
Yeah.
If it would have played out the same as it was, but I mean, we had a bunch of car troubles before, and at that event, which is the worst event to have car issues. So, but I mean, it was crazy how it planned out. Mata, actually, he was running really good in practice. He was probably one of the fastest dudes, and he was looking super good. He's putting it on the wall every time, but I knew though that him putting it on the wall like that every lap, like eventually it's going to get in your head or something. But he didn't even – I think something else happened. It's like a mechanical failure or something happened on him, because he didn't – it wasn't normal how he hit the wall. Normally I don't think he would have hit the wall there. Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him probably like next week or so I get his thing on there. Plus his back, like I'm pretty sure you're old enough to know, like it was weird to see him this year, because the like again I kind of tune out some shit, man. But I remember like he put up some videos and stuff years ago, and it kind of got around the internet and everything, and about Don't Mata Racing and stuff, something like that was. I don't even remember. I gotta watch it again before actually when I have him on a video, I'm gonna put that in the intro so people can watch it or whatever. And it's like crazy to see that that people were like kind of like, oh, he's like a like he's a not what people were saying, like kind of like a fake drifter or whatever. It's like fast forward and the dude's like contending for he's doing really well, man. So it's pretty cool to see that stuff.
Yeah.
Then of course I was. Again, like everybody talked about the whole, Adam LZ this year and everything, and they were like two guys that kind of had some kind of like social media buzz coming into this thing, man. And like for seeing how LZ, some of his viewers are pretty annoying. It's like dude, he got knocked out, dude. And they just all go away and everything or whatever. So when that man, like I think most people probably gonna pick up some stuff from him. You mentioned you got a YouTube, man. So for your YouTube, what what kind of content and stuff are you putting on there, or are you looking to build that
I,
more?
yeah, I've just been including like some stuff. For one year, I included like the budget I spent because a lot of people were interested on how I did it for so
Mm,
cheap. And then just I did some like overviews of my car and just some small stuff like that, building the car. I want to
okay,
continue doing that, and like this year, I want to really like show what's going on behind the scenes and stuff, and maybe video a lot while we're at the FD rounds. But this year, I slacked and
yeah.
I say I'm gonna do it, and then I don't do it. So
Yeah, yeah. Trust me, man. Going from a guy that all I man, I would spend the first 25, 30 minutes of like just setting cameras up, and then then I will waste about that time because most tracks in Japan is 800 8 or 8 a.m. to about well, sorry, 8 a.m.'s drivers meeting. The first car on track is normally always 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. And then you always they have lunch. You can't drift on lunch hours. And then 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. to about 4 for most events is like the combination of everything. So you spend like goddamn 30 minutes setting up cameras. You waste an hour. So now when I go to the track, dude,
yeah,
I don't mount cameras. And then with the cell phones now, you don't need to go. I mean, your cell phone is doing like 4K video now. So I got a little camera mount that mounts on a tripod. So I don't take any gear anymore. I used to take a bag of shit, mounts and suction cups and all this stuff, man. And I don't do none of that stuff anymore. It's kind of like it's just I don't know. I just want to drive, man. That's all and everything. So, but I
yeah,
will
exactly.
at the end of this, man, I'll get with you and just give me some links and stuff or whatever videos, and I'll put it in the intro. Some videos of you driving and stuff like that, man, to get it out there. And like I say, my channel only has about currently about 61. I think I got about 6,100 subscribers on YouTube, and then about like 37,000 or some stuff like that on my business page or whatever. So it gets around. So hopefully,
Yeah,
some of my guys will get over there, and then of course I'll subscribe to your channel and stuff like that, man. So, but I mean overall, man, like Pro One. I think definitely, man. Like getting the way out, I watched you this season, man. You look good out there driving it. One of the better looking cars, and I like that. I like that chassis, man. So that's one of my favorite chassis too. So I just picked up a not the same like yours. I just picked up a G35 last week, and has the VQ and stuff in it. And so I might do something with that one. But yeah, man, I always like that chassis, man. And that chassis is very popular. And that one is very expensive still in Japan. It's about they're around about 28,000 for that car. Yeah, man.
dang,
Yeah, so it's pretty. Some cars in Japan is weird by the headlights, the tail lights, and everything, and the overall build of the car. Japanese hold them in a higher regard than some other cars. So like they're very expensive over here, man. And they also
for sure.
come in for the manual versions. They're much more expensive than the automatic versions. So they're up there and everything, man. So and then I mean, you asked me a question about I was kind of like, because you asked me, man, you were like, you asked me about the performance shops in Japan, and you were saying are they popular over here, man? So like that question, I was kind of shocked because I'm like, this guy, phone drift, whatever, driving a Nissan LS and all that stuff. So I mean, far as your, obviously not you, but the guys in your group, man. Did you spend more time like watching like the FD stuff like on your spare time growing up, or coming up, not growing up, but coming up in the game, or you say you were looking at some stuff in Japan, but was it more American based stuff or Japan stuff as far as drifting material you watch and everything?
Well, what my buddy was looking up was just straight up Japan stuff,
Okay,
like just street drifting. Uh, he bought an RX-7 FC, and so he just watched a bunch of videos just like that. I mean, no one around here even knew what drifting really was until
okay,
he started kind of doing it, and then I got into it, and then it just kind of like snowballed, and then a couple
yeah,
people around here that started doing it. But I mean, we don't even have that many people in my area that drift, and
mm,
honestly, I'm like the only one right now that still like actually has a competitive car in my area. Like the next one's like 2 hours, 3 hours, away from me. So
mm,
have to travel or whatever to drive with other people. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's different.
yeah,
Yeah, but as you were saying, me looking up like drifting, drifting other places or whatever, going to Japan would definitely be something I want to do and go to for sure though.
Yeah. Well, man, I'll tell you and everybody else out there, man. The Japan is looking to increase tourism because believe it or not, like a lot of people don't come here too much. I mean, when guys come here, the first and I avoid Tokyo like the plague, man, because it's just like it's like everybody goes. It's like everybody comes to Japan for that one thing, and then if you're a gaijin, like the foreigner, and you're down there, everybody just assume you just came off the plane. Like, nah, dude, I've been here 12 years, and I got a business and family and stuff here. I'm rooted here in Japan, man. So I don't like to be honestly grouped with those guys, because the guys who come here for car stuff, they're going straight to the track, Ibisu or wherever they got to go. They're not hanging out down there. They want to do car shit, or they'll go to Daiko Futo, which is like that big every Friday night there's like a car show there, and the cops kick you out and everything, things like that. So it's stuff to do here. It's just what I was getting at was they want to get stuff out, so when the Corona stuff blows over, the plane ticket is going to be really cheap because they need to make money back, man. They lost a shit ton of money. And then I'm pretty sure if you follow the Olympics got canceled. So, dude, they lost billions of dollars, dude. Like, I'm talking billions. So they're hurting right now, and their economy is kind of going to shit because the elections kind of lowers your yen to dollar rate. So plane tickets, you could fly round trip about. I flew my mom here in October 2015. And it was about It was about $980 round trip. So you might be able to fly over for about like maybe $6 something. So
that's not bad.
And that's is it the flight? What's the longest you ever flown on a plane, man?
4.5, 5 hours.
16 hours, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that's if you get once you leave wherever you're leaving from. I mean, of course, if you leave from the West Coast, it's a little bit shorter. But when I flew over to Japan the first time, I flew from Dulles Airport, and what's that, Virginia or whatever that area is.
Oh, Dallas is Texas.
No, Dulles.
Oh,
Dulles.
Yeah.
Dulles is like
that's Virginia.
Yeah, that's like Virginia area. So yeah, I flew straight from Dulles to Tokyo, straight shot, military. So there was no connecting flights. I flew straight over 16 and a half hours, man. So like,
dang.
And I actually didn't sleep on a plane. So I was fucking up the whole time, dude. And I was just excited to get to fucking Tokyo, and I had a car, I had a cell phone, and I went to the track the first day. Like I was like, dude, I'm ready to go, man. So I got R33 GTS my second day, and I already had my license and stuff here in Japan, man. So again, it's crazy, man. Now it's 12 years later. Got a shop and everything here, man. But the grind, I will tell you, man, the grind and everything it's the same. It's the same parts waiting, the shits. Stuff is actually more expensive here, believe it or not. So I order a lot of stuff from the States in Juku, Raw Brokerage, FR Sports, and I'm a dealer I got a dealer account at Turn 14. So I actually don't buy. I don't buy. It's probably shock, man, but I don't buy many things in here in Japan because it's just crazy, man. So I'm pretty sure most of your parts because your build is coming from States, correct?
Yeah. Well, almost everything is coming from here.
Yeah.
We either order. I mean, a lot of my stuff is just through the companies themselves now that I've developed relationships with them.
Right. Yeah, man.
Now it seems like most people are still going through in Juku or now Drift HQ.
Yeah, Drift HQ. So yeah, Juku's Ken Harrison, where I try to get Ken on a podcast. He's like, I don't like talking on cameras, man. So, but I've known Ken. I've never actually. We never had a voice conversation. We've been emailing each other since like 2010 or something, man. So Ken is an awesome dude. He finally just stopped taking emails after he used to do emails all the time, and now he got a staff and everything, do all that stuff, man. And the guys are Raw Brokers help me all the time, but parts and everything. But yeah, man, I order Japanese parts, Tomei parts from the States cheaper than I get from inside of Japan. It's crazy, dude.
That's crazy.
Because they mark everything up, man. They mark a lot of this shit up, man. And then also I do a lot. My shop, I'm a performance shop. I specialize in everything performance, but the biggest thing is swaps. Like Japanese don't do swaps. So like all my shit, I got 1UZs, RBs, 2Js, everything is pretty much swapped. So like for the 1UZ, I used the Collins kit, and that kit was about the drive shaft, flywheel, the clutch kit, the mounts with a mount for the engines. I had to make the trans mount. That was about I think about $2,800, and something like that in Japan would be about $6,000 for that same kit. It's that same kit. If a Japanese company made that same kit, it would be about $6,000, man. It's just their pricing is ridiculous, and they just Japanese got this mindset where if it doesn't cost a lot, it's not worth it. I'm like, yeah, the cost is relative, but your shit can't cost $5,000 for a fucking intake manifold, dude. When I can get the same intake manifold for CX Racing for $400 or whatever. So I use CX Racing a lot. All those guys, man. Yeah. So yeah, there's obviously crap shit, but then there's like I'm not paying this much for the manifold when I know that manifold with the unmarked one that I get is only $500 and the Gretty one is like $890 or whatever before shipping, man. So what, and like on that crap, like on that, man, like what's your I mean, what would be like the company I guess you use the most as far as your branding and stuff? Like what brand do you like the most, or you just like whatever gets the job done?
Man, I really don't know because I only deal with LS engines basically swapped into my cars, and so there's a lot of different companies. There's nothing like one set that makes everything.
Right.
But for like suspension, I use only Fortunato really, and then ISR Performance. They do LS swaps and stuff now. So I've been using them a little bit. But my main sponsor for swap kits and stuff has been Fueled Racing.
Okay.
So I use them for my engine mount, like oil pan and stuff like that. Or if I was in A, I would use their headers and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, ISR Performance seems like they're trying to get into the game with some very cost effective, like their stuff doesn't cost that much and it fits and works great. So I've been working with them a lot. And unlike customer stuff, I'll use as much as the companies that I'm partnered with, I'll use all their parts to build the people, like cars I'm working on for other people.
Mm. Yeah, I'm a dealer for ISR, and I've been dealer. I was a sponsored driver for them first, and I became a dealer. So dealer stuff is different because it gives you actually more access to it. So it's kind of nice for that. And I, of course, I use it for my customers and myself as well, man. So it's kind of like it's weird, with getting a dealer accounts, I don't really have to get the sponsor stuff as much anymore. And when I started my company, man, I lost a lot of sponsors or whatever because it was weird, man. I learned a lot of stuff about sponsors, how to deal with people and deal with companies and everything. And biggest thing, like if I don't sign no contracts, it's not real to me. And then the guys just stop talking to you. They stop answering emails and everything. So I understand business and everything, what it is and stuff like that. But yeah, man, for the parts, again, I just use I use what I got to use to get it done. I work with Shaft Masters a lot, drive shaft shop, because to get a drive shaft, again, the prices are, you probably don't believe me, man, but a drive shaft, for your swap kit or single piece drive shaft, aluminum or whatever, probably costs what, $400-$500. It would cost you
roughly.
Yeah, it costs about $2,800. Yeah, dude.
Holy crap!
I'm not bullshitting you. And not only it will cost you $2,800, but you're gonna wait 3 months for it as well. So I'm like, I told the guys at Shaft Master, I'm like, dude, $2,800 in 3 months, like you guys could fucking make like 80 fucking drive shafts in like 2 weeks, and that might be an understatement because those guys knock drive shafts out a lot. So I was like, yeah, dude, they just they're Japan again, man. You'll be shocked when you get here. You see it. Japan is a big farm. It's a big fucking farm with cities sprinkled in. So you're in Tokyo, then you go 5 minutes that way, you're in a rice paddy. And so shit is not really on a shelf like people think it is. Like, it's not anymore. So you got to order everything, and a lot of stuff comes in from China, Taiwan, Indonesia, America.
Yeah.
So they're Siki is Siki and I would say Siki, BC, and like Garrett is like the top three like kind of parts companies here outside of Japan. And then like for the ECUs, Lincoln, Haltech is like that's it. Lincoln Haltech, they don't even. That's one thing where they don't use HKS anymore because that shit's archaic. Power FC, I still love it, but they don't use Power FC no more. Lincoln Haltech is that's it, man. The Link G4, the Atom, and then you said you're sponsored by Haltech, so you run the Elite or which one do you have?
I have the Elite 2500 now.
25, yeah, I like the 25, man. 25 is most guys. Well, I like the 25 for people who need the 25. I don't like it for guys who don't. It's like, dude, you just get the Platinum plug and play. Platinum Pro is more than great, more than good enough. So a lot of customers, I'm like, hey man, if you want the 25, it's gonna cost more to tune it, but you don't need the 25 to go to the grocery store, man. So, so that's what a lot of guys do, man. So you get all that stuff, man. But yeah, man, it's just yeah, man. I just like. I mean, I'm looking forward to. I after watching you guys up there this season, man. Myself, seriously, man. Every time you guys this season, I had you guys on while I was in the garage, because it was like always like a Saturday or whatever. It rolls into Sunday on this side, so I'm working on my car and everything, and then like I hear kind of just hear everything, and got this kind of like a 30-inch TV in the garage, so I can kind of track things and everything, get the motivation, man. So definitely. For what it's worth, man, I'm a dude in Japan running a car shop, and I'm getting motivated by you dudes out there driving and doing your thing, man. So definitely looking forward to next season to see what's going to go down and everything, man. And yeah, definitely.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, definitely looking forward, man. So you got any questions from you on this side for Japan or everything, or you good, man?
Well, I was just curious, like, so is LS is that big there at all?
Dude, I had at one point I sold it, and it's actually still for sale. I had a 5.7 liter LS from a Corvette, and there's only two LS swap cars in the whole. Well, outside of Daigo shit, Daigo got every fucking thing. So outside of Daigo, there's only two LS swap cars in the whole Japan. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so the other ones they got on it. My local guy, he had a LS7, and I don't know what the fuck they were doing, dude. They kept losing bearings. I don't know what was going on. He didn't have the AccuSump the first time, and then they got AccuSump, but I think his style is he was an SR20 driver, a really high horsepower SR20, so he's used to that. He's kind of just banging on it, and like, dude, you don't gotta fucking do that. You let it do his thing, man, and like I think the style of his driving is what broke it, and then he gave it one season, and then it broke multiple times, and then he went to the 2J, so that's just like in Japan now. That's the combination S15 and 2J. That's just, I don't know what that combination is, but that's I mean, you look at the round that he won at the BC, he won both rounds. It was 2 rounds back to back, and the top three in both rounds, they were like the 2 890 Supers, and one was 3UZ swap. The other one's Daigo's 2J, and everything else was S15s or 2Js. So that's the winning combination in Japan right now. I mean,
that's the winning combination everywhere.
Yeah, it just I wanted to I had to sell it to fucking LS because I needed the money, and yeah, they just I wanted to buy it back, but I sold it to them for $3,000 with the CX Racing turbo kit, and they marked it up $3,000, and then now it's just been Japanese to shit and don't. So I was like, hey man, can I buy it back for the same price? He's like, nah man. I'm like, all right dude. So I'm not gonna buy it back. So I want to definitely get an LS. And I got the 1UZ, but that's a different V8.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game. So I definitely want to see what it feels like, and I'm having fun with the 1UZ, to be honest. So I can only imagine the LS and the 1UZ. I had the 1UZ is what, 4.0, and that's only like 230 horsepower.
Yeah.
So it sounds like menacing, but it ain't really. It ain't. Yeah. But the LS, man, I was telling the Japanese, I'm like, dude, this engine is a fucking adult Lego. Like it's you can take it apart in the pits and put it back together, like, and it's just the amount of swap kits out there, just stuff like moving the alternator from left to the right. And I was like, dude, they got everything like mapped out for this engine, man. Like, if whatever you think about, the swap kit is there. The I couldn't believe the wiring harnesses, the ECU itself, stock. You can do a lot with it. You know, the HP tuners is pretty good, relatively, and the I was like, man, after doing some research, I was like, I see why these guys run this engine, because it's just parts everywhere. There's swap kits everywhere. The wiring harness is like $200 for, power ground start. It's just like, it's pretty easy, man. So, but did you use the stock ECU at all? Or you just always use Haltech? Or
no? I did a stock ECU one for my very first swap about probably 6 or 7 years, probably 6 years ago. But since then, it's all been standalone.
Okay. Yeah, man, they got that. It just, it's just, and yours haven't you got the 5.3, man? It's like, I'm pretty sure those things like almost everywhere, and the junkyards, man. So how much are the 5.3s going for like now? About $300 or?
Yeah, about $400.
Yeah, then like that's crazy. I think the iron. I think personally, even though it's a 5.3. Is it still 5.3, or did you stroke up, or still 5.3?
I'm still 5.3 right now.
Okay.
But for next year we may bore it out a little bit.
Yeah, because my thing is like the 5.7 and all those other ones, they're the aluminum, but that iron, man, the shit's as strong as fuck. It's not gonna distort. It's not gonna break.
Exactly.
So I would take the smaller displacement personally. For a stronger block, and that's why I'm an RB guy, man. Like if I had to pick an engine, or if I was gun to my head, RBs I've had years of drifting out of them. I don't break them, and they're just the iron block, man. Like the iron block is you got to do some shit really wrong to blow that engine up, man. Most of the guys who blow RBs is because the engine is already fucking old. The engine was being beat on 20 years before they swapped it into their 240. And also they're using a lot of guys, their cooling is horrible, man. Like cars get hot, 2 laps, the car is already pegging. I'm like, dude, like you either got to get ducting on there or put the clutch fan back on there. And I never have overheating issues. I never have oil pumps break. I just fixed all that shit, man. So it's I don't have issues with RBs. I don't know what everybody else's issue is. Then, like I said, naturally the 2J. So here in Japan it's SR. 2J, SR, the 1JZ VVTI, then the 2J, and the everybody wants the 2JZ non-VVTI, but those are hard to those are very expensive, and the 2J swaps over here now cost $6,000 because the dudes in the States are marking shit up, man. So now I can't get a 2J. 2Js are like almost $7,000. So,
yeah, the same here.
Yeah, dude. It's I don't understand the correlation between Corona and marking engine prices up. Like I don't know who started this fad, man. So, I haven't checked on LS prices, but there's my one. There's only one LS for sale in the whole Japan. That was the one I just sold about 3 years ago. So they're not nah, man. The LS it's the Japanese are just afraid, and they don't have the support. And they don't. Japanese also don't buy car parts online, so they buy everything else online, but they don't buy car parts online. So if they can't get it inside of Japan, they don't want to do credit card shit. They don't use PayPal. Yeah. So I'm trying to be the land bridge. I want to actually get a bunch of 5.3, a pallet of 5.3s, and just get them over here. And I think when they see a shit ton of them, then they may feel better about doing a swap. You said you got a T56 or sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the transmission thing is another thing too. Even though you got adapter kits, you can run pretty much anything you want to run behind it. I'm pretty sure they got R154 adapter kits or whatever. I think a lot of people run. They're running with the 350Z, the CD.
Oh yeah. CD009.
Yeah, but those are breaking a lot, correct?
No, well, a lot of people say that they're really that once you start putting like 8, 9 to 1,000 horsepower on, they do break.
Oh yeah,
but that's with any transmission almost,
Yeah, that's true, man. Then, like you say you go to Pro 1, you're gonna switch up to the Dug box, correct? So that
G-Force GSR.
Okay, Yeah, no, I've drove one around a lot before, but I've never actually I never drifted with a dog box. I've only had H patterns and everything. So that's one thing, man. It's like I was talking to one guy before, man. I was like, dude, it's like that. If your gear ratio is wrong in the track and you got to shift up early, that shit sucks because if you shift up right at the time where you're gonna transition and you miss the gear, which I've done before, I've actually stuck the gear in between gears before, broke the transmission, and it's like that. I can only imagine like having that, this up down, and it'll relieve so much stress, man, and like so much brain power on not missing the gear because
Well, the GeForce the dog box is still H pattern.
Oh, still H pattern. Okay.
Yeah, it's just straight cut gears.
I got you.
A sequential right now is like 15,000. So I'm not. That's a lot of money for just the transmission.
Yeah, man. So they got I forgot what guy was. Some guy from New Zealand. I think it was forgot a company, but he offered me actually a really good price on it, and I might try to take him up on that, man. Because that's just to get a stronger transmission to make sure everything is That's just one less thing. Because most times after that, after your car is squared away, most of the things guys are breaking the transmissions or axles or maybe the diff. But the engine, once that shit's all dialed in and tuned up and everything, they generally not breaking as much, man. So, I mean, I broke a bunch of axles and different things, mainly because, like I said, I do a lot of swaps. So I'll take a 2J and put it in the S13 and it's still got the 6-bolt axle. Yeah, the little puny diffs, the little puny axles, then they just snap right in half. And I'm not even I'm not clutch kicking while I got e-braking and shit like that. It's just they're 25-year-old axles that are like this big. So everything, man. So you got that. What axles? You said what axles you running on your car?
I switched to drive shaft shop this year, but the prior 2 years I ran OEM G37 axles, and they never broke.
I know. I mean, I heard a lot of guys in the States are doing an AutoZone shit where they break the.
So the car actually in the background is a 350, my old 350Z, and it would always break axles. So I had O'Reilly's axles in it, and it was just lifetime warranty.
Oh, no shit.
And I would just go there and get them replaced.
Would they ask you questions?
Oh, no, I knew them. But one of them, I went to AutoZone first, and they were doing it for a while. And then the guy finally just said, look, I'm just going to give your money back. You can't get no more here. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, dude. Prior to like the 6X, like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, you're not just.
Yeah.
It was a hard day driving to work, man. Axles just break like that. So they probably got hip to it, man. But I was like, that shit was pretty. I was like, that's fucking ingenious, man. Because like you pay what, like, for that, like, I don't know what the axles are, Duralast or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like $80.
Yeah, and that shit like lasts like 2 events and it just snaps in half. Like, dude, how are you breaking these axles like that, man? So they that's pretty cool. They don't have like that's again, I love Japan, man. I love living here. It's safe. Raising my kids here. I don't have to worry about a lot of things, but like the AutoZone and events, man. I lived in there, man, and I would go there. And I parked, they got the big fucking glass window so they can see what car you got. And I parked my car there, and I was like, yeah, I need this for a Subaru, and I need this for a Talon. And he's like, but I'm like, dude, just give me the parts, dude. Like, my car is Frankenstein together, all types of shit in it. And then my guy was cool because they would let me go in the back and just check the hoses because I was like, I need a hose that looks like this. He's like, dude, just go back there and get it, dude. Like,
that's how they are.
Yeah, dude. So I missed that stuff, man. So shit, how? I mean, because again, I haven't been in the States in 12 years, man. AutoZone's still the same, and we're still the same old. So they just actually like you want wipers like we got automatic and manual. It's the same thing, dude. With the Only thing I will say, in Japan though, when you order parts, you got to have your title. They won't let you order out your title. So when you have you got a V35 or whatever, like, so now I got a book of titles for shit I don't even own or stuff I owned before. That's if I go to a new place. My current guys, I've known them a long time, so I just give them part numbers and they know I'm good. So the reason why they do this is in and it happens in the States. You order some shit or whatever, and they get the wrong year, make a model, whatever. But here, there's no refund. So if you pay for it, and you say it's your release bearing is for a this kind of Skyline, and they give you a pull type, not a push type, then that's like that's what they have to eat that shit. So they verify. So then if you got your title says pull type on it, and you're not a knowledgeable person, and it's been converted to a push type, they'll give you a pull type bearing, and then you'll go to install it. Then so that kind of happens a lot here too, because your title, you can change the engine on your car, and it'll change the name. If you say you have an SR20, and the SR20 is a 2-liter, and you go to RB26, it's going to cost you $3,000 for that swap for the paperwork. Yeah. So then it becomes a RB26 on paper, but the original title still says SR20. So if you go to there and you give them your title, and it says, I need flywheel bolts, and they give you flywheel bolts for fucking SR20, not RB26. So some guys don't know that, and some shops don't know that either. So swaps, again, dude, you would think Japan is very advanced, man, but you come here, swaps are not, they're not at all, man. So case in point, like I said, I went to the event, and I had the 1UZ, and everybody's just going fucking nuts. I'm like, dude, it's just a 1UZ. And they were like, dude, oh man, that's cool, that's awesome. And they asked me all these questions and everything, and I'm like, dude, it's a 1UZ. And I got the third or the fourth 1UZ swap in all of Japan. So it's again, man, it's cool here, but you would be shocked, man. Like, so it'd be really cool, man, to get you over here. Again, I got the cars. I got tons of cars. By the time you get over here, I might have a G35 manual swap down, man. So you'll be able to hop in something that's familiar with a lot less power, though. So
yeah,
so you got that and everything, man. So I mean, like on your first cars, man, what was your power level before you made the jump to competitive drifting? What were you normally drifting with power wise?
Well, I had the SR20 swapped S13. I did that in high school. I swapped it in high school, and then drifted with it for fun. But it was nothing. I didn't do any competition or anything with it. And then I just right off the bat LS swapped, or actually I got an LS swapped RX-7 FD. That wasn't drifting though. I was just street driving and kind of driving racing that Santi Coupe S13 with that built LS and T56, and did like a couple competitions with it. But I basically just right off the bat was like had a bunch of power. In Pro-Am, I had the exact same setup I had now. It was twin turbo LS. Made like 1,000 or made 1,100 to the tire to drag race with, and then I turned it down to 650 to drift with, and everyone thought I was drifting it on 1,000 horsepower though, but I wasn't. But yeah, I mean, and the car stayed together. I still use the same engine setup and everything as I was, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I could imagine, man, like going from the in your SR, was your SR like was it a red top or S13 or S14, S15 or?
It was a black top at the time.
Okay.
And then I'd also gotten a S14 that was another black top, but I didn't drift it. I just built it and put a top mount turbo setup on it and raced it a little bit and then sold it.
Yeah. I can imagine, man, going like, pretty much once you got your first hit of LS drifting, man, you never looked back after that, man.
No.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Like I say, I definitely. Yeah, the thing is, man, I'm in a shitty situation because I can definitely buy the engine back, but one of my customers wants he got a Caprice, Japanese guy has a Caprice Classic box with hydraulics in Japan, and he wanted to do a 2J swap, and I'm like, dude, that's gonna cost you about $25,000, and that's probably an understatement to do all the shit I got to do. And he's like, so he aborted that, and I was like, well, my LS is online, and I can definitely, because he already has the whatever transmission. It's actually like it's the Sun R, which was like a sought after transmission, and I think it will bolt to it and everything. So I'm like, it would be better to, put an LS in your Caprice because it's already a Chevy, and the swap kits are just fucking everywhere for it. So he wants to do that. So it's like I want to get it back, but then I want to make the money from doing a swap on his car. And also I get more Japanese customers. So think I'm gonna let him have it, and then I'll probably hook up with you, man. Give me some 5.3s and get him sent over, man. So I talked to goddamn man, I forgot James Evans at Sicky a little while ago, and he was supposed to we talked so I probably got to hit him up and everything. He said he's gonna get a pallet together and get some stuff over here because he really wants to get into they're already over here. The biggest thing that Sicky's selling right now is their the quick change for the diff.
Yeah.
So, everybody's all over that stuff now. It's just there's nothing like it in Japan, and if it was, I'm not. How much does the quick change rear cost?
Subframe with axles and dollars.
What's
subframe axle?
Yeah, so something like that over here will be whatever it costs over there. Just add $6,000 more into it, and that's how much it would.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's how much it would cost if some dude made it over here. So almost a lot of the D1 GP guys got them. FD Japan guys mostly got them. So seemed like James. It sucked that they had to back out of FD. Whatever reasons they weren't making money, but they still everybody's buying Sicky shit, man. So they're still well supported, man. So that's pretty good. And a lot of guys over here, and also I know Europe guys are using it, so they just cornered that LS market, man, and they're doing pretty well now. You're seeing like everybody else is. It seems like that's the thing now. Like it's the company. They got Z1 Motorsports for the Zs. You got the 3SI for the GTO. You got the RB Brokerage and the different guys with different engines, and Atkins for the rotaries, and that's the thing. Instead of trying to do every engine, is focused on one. I know Enjuka was pretty much Nissan for a long time.
Yeah,
they were like, and then they started adding more shit and everything. So, but Nissan parts still are the dominant ones and everything, man. So it's just kind of cool to see that. But again, man, to go back to the LS, dude, when I just did that research, and I'm like, dude, holy, there's like 30 fucking websites selling all different shit for the LS. Like, it's just, some of the stuff is the same, but I couldn't believe I could do a whole OEM overhaul for $1,500. That was blowing my mind, dude. And then it was saying forged. I didn't know if it was forged pistons or rods, but I was like, dude, in $1,500 of the RB, you're getting like what? You can't even get a crankshaft for that much.
Yeah.
You can't even get a crank. Nah, you can't. The block is whatever. Yeah, dude, it's just expensive, man. So
for sure.
Yeah, man. So we got all that stuff, man. But hey, man, like I don't hold like I probably I'll get into the groove, man, and start talking, man. It's like time flying. So we were doing about an hour and 20 minutes so far, man. Again, man, I just wanted to talk to you, get your your thoughts on the season and things. I'm definitely looking forward to I'm pretty sure you probably announce it when if you make the decision to stay in Pro 2 or go up to Pro 1, man. With everything coming down, have they like kind of gave you guys getting emails or updates or periodic updates on what they're projecting for next season? Or?
Yeah, they gave us an email actually just this week, but they said they wanted to keep it very confidential until they got something set. But they're trying to help us build a plan,
Got you. I figured it'd be kind of like tight-lipped with that stuff, man. But yeah, man, I just want, I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Because when you get like same thing when I never drove an FD or whatever, so I don't know how they do it. But like D1, even though I can't even fucking read the emails because it's all scribbles and kanji and shit. So they do send you all the news things. So they don't say like what they're trying to get the dates at, but the dates are normally never solidified until like almost the first week of January is when they kind of like they lock it in because
for sure.
Yeah, so D1 starts it kicks off every year at Tokyo Salon, but again, I hate to even keep bringing Corona up, man, but it's just throwing things off big time because they would kick off the event there, and then that would start the event and everything, and it's just everything is hopefully I hope this shit just goes away, man. I really
for sure.
Yeah, dude, it's I thought this shit was gonna be like 2 months, maybe. We're almost a whole damn year, and like yeah, dude, it's just I try to stay positive about it. It is what it is. I still my business is still open. I'm happy about that. And then again, man, to see the events they got put on and everything, and a lot of drift series is canceled this year completely. So I think FD, both FDs, D1 ran. I think Drift Masters ran. Drift Masters and over there with James Dean and those guys. King of Drift Kings. She used to be King of Europe. They didn't run, and then they decided to do the last few events. So they're gonna do like 2 events, and man, it wasn't. It was good. FD, man, FD really made they really like kind of stamped their foot in the game this year, man, and worldwide, because everybody's watching, man. It's like, it wasn't a lot going on, so there was a lot more eyeballs on this year, man. So I'm pretty sure, people, again, being a second place winner and stuff like that, man, it allows you to, do more stuff and more contacts and things like that, man. So I'm pretty sure it's pretty awesome to get that under the belt and everything, improve the resume and everything, and man, So that's what I'm just into it right now, man. I'm just trying to build my resume, because like I told Love, man, and there's no shame about it. I was military. I spent 3 years in Iraq, and in between Iraq shit, I was trying to do all this stuff, man. And I had one car. I was barely sleeping, and it was just not. And I was driving to the events, so it was just man. It just wasn't working out for me, man. So we'll see how everything's going to go for the future, man. But again, man, thanks for your time. Definitely be following you and everything. I'll drop all your links and everything down in the Facebook thing, so you just send me all that stuff, and I'll drop it down there for you, and get the guys over to your channel, and I'll subscribe and everything too, man. So any parting or final words, or any any promotions or any events coming up or stuff like that for you, or what's going on?
Well, for sure, just thanks for taking the time. I mean, it's pretty cool to talk with you and everything, and any of this, any interviews or podcasts, I feel like is it's gonna be positive, good vibes or whatever, and trying to get my name out there. So for sure, thanks for that. And then events, I mean, I don't just waiting to see what the schedule is gonna be like for next year, and just I'm gonna try and start my YouTube back up here, going, and I'm rebuilding the car and stuff like that, and trying to show everybody what's going on in the shop.
Got you, man. I'll be following, man. I'll have you start running this shop while I'm building my cars, man. So, again, guys, there. Again, this is going to be Jonathan Cash Hurst. And the Cash, is that nickname, or that's your actual middle name?
No, that's actually my middle name.
Good shit, man. That's dope, man. I thought it was like so. Where that name come from? How'd you get that name, the middle name?
Well, my grandma had, her first name was Cash. Okay. So I don't, or no, I mean, not her first name, but her last name. Her name was Dora Cash. So I just, I guess my parents made that happen.
Yeah, dude, that's a marketable name right there, man. Like you definitely could do something with that, man. But yeah, dude, it's definitely good to have you on again, you guys. There again, make sure I'll put all the links down in the bottom. You guys go click on that. I'll go follow Jonathan there, and make sure you check all the stuff and all the sources, all of them: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Check all that stuff out. As far as Pinku style stuff, again, just make sure you check out the store for all the guidelines on shipping cars, exporting, different things like that. And make sure, for the guys out there, even buddies out there, if you want to do business, please send it to download@pinkustyle.com, because the way Facebook is set up, I don't look at all the messages unless I happen to be in my inbox. And also, if we're not buddies, it goes to that one that's not seen, and I never click on that one. So I don't want to ignore you, but send it at download@pinkustyle.com. That way we could do everything official, because official business is done officially by email, no fax and crap like that. And man, as far as me, like I said, with just kind of said it again with Jonathan here, and also said it last time with Joshua on. I was like full bore about doing FD and everything in this year coming up. Probably not the smartest thing for my being in Japan and everything, and just the way this year is going. I'm not backing up, I'm not bitching out, but I just want to take this approach a little bit different. The way I want to kind of set myself up in 2022. So I kind of focus more on Japan events, and then what I'll do is I'll actually fly over to the States, document everything, have video and stuff like that, and I'll look to get into some maybe some feeder series over there if they got events going on, and just get some experience over there. Again, it's been years. It's been 12 years since I drove left-hand drive cars drifting. I've driven a bunch over here, but no drifting. So it's just one of those things too. If you guys looking to get into the game and everything, you gotta swallow your pride. You gotta do things proper, or you're just gonna spend a lot of money and basically spin tires and fucking wreck, man. You want to make sure you're good to go, and because skills, seat time is very important, man. So you gotta get that. And overall, for the last, even in Japan, the last 5 years, I haven't been in the last 5 years, I've maybe done maybe 15 events. That's nothing. Yeah, man, get that seat time out there. The builds we was talking about, Jonathan car here. Jonathan has been driving for a while. He's built up to those cars. That you don't need what he's driving to start, man. You got to start with something that you can control, because if you got 900 horsepower, you're gonna put that shit straight into the wall very quickly and very hard. So you definitely want to go out there and make sure you get those, build up to that power, and it'll feel better, and you'll have better results there, guys. So again, down on at pinkustyle.com for business. If you got any questions or whatever, or any guest submissions, podcast at pinkustyle.com, and then from there I'll get back to you guys. Again, as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for signing in on YouTube. Thank you for listening on SoundCloud. And it's going to be Donnie signing out from Masao, Japan, and Jonathan signing out from Kentucky. We'll see you guys later. Donald Jackson out. Peace.